Thank you for joining and listening to the Rare Disease Matrix podcast. This is episode number 6 entitled The Tour. I am your host for this podcast, Jason Colquitt, and I'm also CEO and founder of Across Healthcare based outside of Atlanta, Georgia. The Rare Disease Matrix podcast will be released weekly as 10-minute episodes throughout the year. I hope that you're able to join us on this journey to learn a little bit more about rare disease, what it takes to manage a software business in the rare disease space, and the successes and failures that might ensue. So today we are actually going to get a tour of the Across Healthcare facilities. We have the village on the right that we actually own, and this is the entranceway for Across Healthcare and where most of the people sit related to our business around the Matrix and other software that we do in this facility. This facility is actually an old hardware store that we renovated. It was absolutely barren when we actually first got it. So we've gone in and renovated it. We've been in this facility about 7 or 8 years. So here we go. We're coming into the entranceway. We see where usually the secretary sits to let people in, but it's early morning here at Across in Georgia. So here are meeting spaces that we have. We have our kitchen area, as well as we also like to play here at Across Healthcare, so we have some vintage arcade games. This is where the majority of the team sits during the workday. So we have cubes and open space, as well as some offices that people sit in. If we go to the other side, we can see what we call our Across Village, where we actually rent and allow people to have space. So we help offset some of our costs of the building. So this side is the village. We actually had a international potluck lunch yesterday. So this area was full of people and food, so it was really good. Oh, and also we love doing puzzles here at Across Healthcare, so we often do puzzles. The next area I'll show you upstairs. The Matrix team is actually the team that builds the rare disease software called Matrix, is actually having a stand-up meeting right now. So we have a big open space upstairs. I'm telling you all this before I walk into the room because I want you to know I probably won't be talking much in there, but you'll be able to see there's about 25 people on the phone every morning. During the weekday, they have these stand-up meetings. We talked about that in a previous podcast, but they get together, they talk about what happened the day before, as far as what was going good, bad, if there are any blockers of what they need to do, as far as the software development, any feedback from clients that we have. They all talk about that in here. So I will now go upstairs. I won't be talking much, and you'll get to see them holding this meeting.
All right, thanks, sir. Morning.
Good morning. Yesterday, working on AP and YBRB migration items. Also told Dennis and Nish about study manager. I think we have another meeting today to get some final MVP requirements.
So that was them having their typical stand-up, talking through client issues. I heard some clients' names there while we're in the room. But here's if you ever want to know what my office looks like, here it is. This is the normal recording area for the podcast, and I do not keep my desk too organized. So, today was just wanting to give you a look at what the facilities look like here, give you that tour of what we do here at Across so you can get a look inside what we see every day. My staff, and I don't know that we've ever talked about this, actually, I'd say over half of the team that works on Matrix lives within our region that we work. So they are located physically in the office, but you saw upstairs when we were there, we do have a lot of remote employees that are on that team, as well as across my whole organization. So they log in via teleconference. We have what's called an owl that sits in the middle of the room, so it gives a 360 view of everybody sitting in that room upstairs, and you probably saw the video on the screen, so everybody can participate, whether they are physically located here in the office or remotely. It's been a good experience. We've been doing this well before COVID, but that's a norm now to be work from your house or remotely. And that's actually a large majority of the people that rent space from us over on the Village. They actually may work for another company. They don't like sitting in their home, so they would rather rent space from us and be in an office space versus just be sitting at home. So again, the Across Village was meant to offset some of our rent. We had a little extra space within our building. So that gets into the business model and how do you support your organization. So that would seem like a good way to facilitate that and offset some of our costs. And they've been great. Some of them actually work in software and in healthcare software. So we get to talk back and forth about what they're doing and help them along. And if there's any insights we can glean, that helps us as well. So I definitely appreciate your time today. Hopefully this was a little intro into not the normal backdrop that you see here, but also see the building facilities that we have here at Across and kind of what it looks like. Again, early morning, most of our guys like getting up a little later. It's a little past 9 a.m. here on the East Coast, so our team starts filtering in at this time. So it was a little vacant as far as people in the office. It's usually a lot more, but hopefully that gave you a little look into us at Across and what we do. Look forward to next week. We will actually have a guest on the podcast. It'll be one of my managers over the development team. So we'll get into much more conversations that are interesting as far as what they're up to from a development perspective. Some of you guys are not software developers or know anything about that. So that'll be interesting to maybe some of you to understand what he actually does here at Across. So we'll stay tuned for that and hope to see you again next time on the Rare Disease Matrix podcast. Thank you.